In the beginning, there was a free press. Well, not really, but it sounded good. By the end of the millennium, 5 men controlled the world's media. But only one of them was the Antichrist. Yet there was one man who operated outside their control. He and his motley crew were known as the People's Democratic Republic of Television. Their mission? To bring the people the awful truth. Tonight, from somewhere inside the PDR TV, please welcome Michael Moore.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Citizens of the People's Democratic Republic of Television, welcome. Welcome to the premiere episode of The Awful Truth, the first broadcast from the PDR TV. And I think the best way to define the People's Democratic Republic of Television to our home audience is simply to say that we all believe in a free press. We just don't own any of the presses. I got to say, honestly, what better time to come on the air than during the year when we got to watch the Republican Party go down in flames, huh? It's been an amazing thing to watch, and you and I had nothing to do with it. And I hope some of the Democrats aren't too far behind. It was a beautiful thing to watch this year, just beautiful. Things had sunk so low. All I was waiting for was to see the headline that said, Senate subpoenas Monica to re-blow the president on the floor of our Senate. I mean, weren't you waiting? They were going to have, they denied us the live witnesses. And wasn't that because we wanted to see reenactments and an explanation because I wasn't quite clear exactly what happened. It really was a crossroads, wasn't it, that moment, that night, when Monica brought Bill the pizza, remember, from Domino's? He wanted a pepperoni supreme, and she brought it in and then showed him her thong underwear. And it was like, wow, that truly is the moment of decision for most guys. The pepperoni pizza or the thong, and... That's right, sir. That's right. Pizza. There are a few of us guys who, when faced with a choice between a pepperoni supreme and a thong from Victoria's Secret, we're going for the pepperoni supreme every single time. All right? Every single time. And for 2 years, we had to watch Ken Starr walk out of the house with that big-ass coffee cup, right? Every single morning, right? 7 o'clock in the morning, big-ass, here. Big coffee cup, And he'd do that little wave, hi, I'm off to destroy the Republic, thank you, hi. Well, a couple of months ago, I decided to show up on Ken Starr's lawn myself at 7 in the morning with my big-ass coffee cup. And I want to show you what happened.
For over a year, our national agenda has been sidelined by Special Prosecutor Ken Starr. Everywhere we looked, sex, 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 sex.
Hear absolutely nothing on the evening news but Monica Lewinsky.
And what single fact did this multi-year, $50 million investigation uncover? That middle-aged men have affairs with younger women. $50 million for that? I could have told you that for $50. Judge Starr, I think I found a cheaper way to conduct a witch hunt.
Pornographer, titillator, smut peddler, lawyer, tool of Beelzebub. You are a tool of Satan, sir. I see him. You have roiled the loins of a nation. You have turned on prepubescent boys. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay?
My very own witch hunt. Ruthless, sex-obsessed, single-minded, and all mine. But even more importantly, cheap. My witch hunt was going to cost exactly $560. And with my witch hunt, everyone was going to be guilty.
All right, load them up.
Washington, D.C. The place was ripe for persecution.
Ejaculated! Sinners, he ejaculated! Repent all you! You have all been infected with the vile satanic curses in this report.
People here had gotten so turned on by Ken Starr's report that even if they weren't having sex, They were sure thinking about it.
Onward! Here's where he lives, the philanderer,
Semen spiller.
ejaculating whoremonger.
Pray for Hillary's strength. Hillary.
These guys could sniff out sin like a stray dog sniffs out weak old garbage. And in Washington, they were getting a snootful.
Congressman Michael Moore, I've put together kind of a portable witch hunt so that you don't have to keep this going for more months. You know, you can just get it over with.
That's very good. Yeah.
Do you have names of any other congressmen that maybe they could, make repent? Do you think that applies to any members of Congress? Think they've ever lied?
Possibly.
Possibly. Do you have any names? We'd like some names.
No.
You've sinned before, haven't you?
Why, certainly, but I've done enough for today.
Enough sinning for today? Our first confession. This witch hunt was already paying for itself.
You've sinned enough.
There's not enough for today.
You sinned.
What kind of show would this be?
It's a witch hunt show. This is the real deal here.
I don't think that's a good interview.
Well, this isn't an interview. This is a cleansing of the Congress. And we'd like to know if you've committed adultery. You know, have you sinned? Are you a fornicator, Congressman? Are you, Congressman?
I headed for the large, suggestively breast-shaped dome we call the Capitol to begin flushing out sinners.
This is Henry Hyde's office,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Henry Hyde is an adulterer, right?
Henry Hyde, the powerful chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, conceded in a written statement, quote, youthful indiscretions with a woman 3 decades ago when both were married to other people.
The President of the United States, who can put his finger on the nuclear button, who lies to the American public, is fundamentally dangerous. Period.
Yeah,
Now,
but his finger wasn't on the nuclear button. It was on Monica Lewinsky.
It's removing somebody from office who has abused the office.
He didn't abuse the office. He
that's the
abused the
question.
hallway down from the office.
It is a
And
legal
lied about
impossibility
it.
to trick somebody into lying.
No,
That's a
are you
legal
kidding? We're
impossibility.
guys. We're always lying about sex. What about the whipped cream incident in 1992 where you licked whipped cream off the breasts of some woman? Or do you remember this incident happening? Or
I remember that that people bring it up constantly. You know, it's the sort of thing that one has to deal with.
We are on a witch hunt, sir. Have you ever committed the sin of adultery?
You ever committed a sin, Congressman? Sinners.
You are sinners.
In 1980, the day after she underwent cancer surgery, Gingrich went to his wife's hospital room. Friends say he discussed terms of the divorce.
Newt Gingrich's office.
I took my witch hunt to the one place I knew we'd find sinners, right up on the dais of the House Judiciary Committee. Suddenly, I was once again face to face with the demon who droned on and on about oral sex. What mission was this man on? I thought it best to take my witch hunt elsewhere. Besides, we weren't here just to bully congressmen. We were here to bully everyone.
Fornicator? Are you a sinner, sir? It's shameful. He is naked and below his leg.
The righteous will rule the country.
The righteous.
Sexually pure will rule the country. The people that don't drink will rule the country. The people that don't party will rule the country. The people that don't have sex will rule the country.
It's going to be a very boring country.
Well, what can I say? There's our Congress.
Man, what a bummer. It was time to get this party started right.
I read to you from the Book of Star, chapter 3, verse 5. I wanted him to touch my genitals with his genitals, and he did so lightly and without penetration, as if that made a difference. Then Mrs. Lewinsky performed oral sex on him again. Is this the filth you have been reading, sir?
Some of it.
Sinner!
Another sinner over there.
You know, the really great thing about an old-fashioned witch hunt is that once you get it going, it kind of takes care of itself.
This is a witch hunt. There's no subpoenas.
The Judiciary Committee reports to Satan. Orrin Hatch killed a man just to watch him die. Senator Robert Byrd was a member of the Klan.
That one's true.
Anweisung ist nicht nur heißer Schwester. Repent!
Repent! If you gave me $50 million, the FBI at my disposal, and unlimited subpoena power, I could find out something embarrassing on every single one of you here in this audience. You believe that? Huh? Anybody here ever have sex? Anybody here ever lied about sex?
Before or after?
First of all, sir, you know that guys like you can only get sex if you do lie, right? You gotta be lying before sex, during sex, and after sex, sir. And it works for him. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Each week on our show, we're going to present to you the results of a number of polls, legitimate polls that we've taken using the polling firm of Widgery and Associates. We will call them our awful truths. And so tonight I would like to present to you the first awful truth. Now, in Clinton's first term, what was his big campaign promise, right? He was going to give us universal health care, right? And the only health care issue that he dealt with in his entire first term was firing Jocelyn Elders as Surgeon General because she said masturbation was actually okay, right? And if only he had taken her advice, he wouldn't have had to go through any of the trouble he's gone through, you know? So... Now, is there anyone here who would be willing to stand up and explain to our British viewers exactly what an HMO is?
You're evil.
I think that pretty much sums it up right there. And so Clinton has now promised that in his last year or so, he wants to tackle this problem once again. And I'd really like to say to him, Bill, I've got actually a better idea. It would be a lot cheaper to just kill the sick than to heal them.
I mean, how much does one bullet cost? 30 cents?
If I was in charge of the national health care plan, I would install sick police at every Theraflu counter and just take them out right when they come in. Or just, you know, just have trap doors in front of ER rooms. People coming in, just bam, they're gone. And that was my big plan until I found out that somebody else already had the idea that it's better to kill sick people than to heal them.
Death. It's the ultimate mystery, and we're all going to go through it. Most of us will simply die of old age. Others, sadly, will die before their time. Some people, though, are dying who don't need to. Meet 34-year-old Chris Donahue of Boynton Beach, Florida. Husband, father, and dying guy.
You guys want pushes?
Yeah.
Chris has developed a bad pancreas from his diabetes, and his doctors have told him that he could die soon if he does not get a pancreas transplant. But Humana, Chris's HMO, has refused to cover the operation, even though Chris has been paying them for over 7 years to provide him with total health care.
Chris's policy with Humana had two conflicting clauses. One would cover all problems related to his diabetes, but the other wouldn't cover a pancreas transplant. Guess which one Humana chose to honor.
I don't want to die. Not yet.
So what happens to you if you don't get a new pancreas?
That I could die tomorrow. I don't know. You know, my daughter's 4 years old. She's gonna need a father. Excuse me.
Time for more things to be happy about. And a health plan designed to keep you healthy. Now that's something to be happy about. Be happy, be healthy. Humana.
Humana presents itself as America's feel-good health insurance company. In 1997, they had revenues of nearly $8 billion, and they paid their chairman, David Jones, over $4 million plus stock options. With that kind of loot kicking around, you think they could afford a lousy pancreas. Humana's dedication to profit is pretty inspiring. Some former employees have testified that they even reward employees for denying coverage to patients. Chris's death was really Humana's gain.
Looks like it's over. You knew I couldn't stay.
I need to place an obituary?
Okay, is this for someone that just recently passed?
No, it's for myself.
For yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to say what the cause of death?
The cause of death? Yeah. The lack of quality care from HMO Humana.
It's as simple as this. If Humana would pay for the operation, Chris would live. Humana, it seems, had decided that it would be more cost-effective to let him die.
Time was running out, and since Humana had played such a vital role in Chris's death, I wanted to invite the executives at Humana to Chris's funeral. Chris and I then headed off to Louisville, Kentucky, and Humana's corporate headquarters.
We had an appointment with Humana Vice President Dr. Mitzi Krockover. But if this guy's name was Mitzi, I guess Humana was covering some operations.
We've got a problem, and I'm afraid we're going to have to postpone the interview for a moment, for a little bit of while. Because our Dr. Krockover's been called away to a meeting, and it's suddenly come up, and we're going to have to postpone, I'm afraid.
Till...
Well, we need to talk about when we can postpone for what appropriate time.
You mean, for postpone for a few minutes, or...?
Probably not today.
His doctors want him to have a kidney and a pancreas transplant. And Humana has denied the pancreas transplant. He's going to die soon, so he wants to invite you to his funeral. I'd like to invite the chairman of Humana, actually, to the funeral, because he will die soon if you don't approve the pancreas operation. And he wanted to give you an invitation. He's been here in Louisville today. He's been looking at different caskets, and we thought maybe you could help us, pick out a casket.
I'm afraid that would be inappropriate for me to do. If there's anything else that I can do to help you research and investigate the matter,
Mr. The mahogany or the oak?
The oak.
You like the oak? He likes the oak. What do you think?
Anything else that I can do with respect to investigating the facts of this case for you?
I like the cherry wood myself.
Obviously, we're interested in the health of our members and trying to improve the health of our members whenever and wherever we can, and certainly we're committed to that.
Right, except he'll die if he doesn't get the pancreas. That's the problem.
I'm certainly not familiar with his case, and we'd be happy to look into it for you.
You would?
Sure, absolutely.
Right. Claim number 332-6449-5501. Let's go to a computer right now and look up the facts.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Well, we'll wait here while you go research the facts.
That's not going to be possible.
Well, we'll wait until you go and get somebody to come down here.
I can't do that today because all the appropriate people aren't available at this point. So
Well, we'll wait till they are available.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave now, and I'll go look at it immediately.
He has a 4-year-old daughter.
You have kids?
Do you have any kids? So, you ready? You ready?
You have daughters?
Let's work our way out this way.
When could you die?
Today. Who knows?
You could die today.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor said.
Shall we?
Shall we what?
Shall we move toward the door so that I can research Mr. Donahue's case?
As opposed to what?
What else do you need? What else do you seek? What else do you want?
Every day that goes by while you investigate the facts is a day closer to his funeral. You know we won't take no for an answer.
I understand that.
I signed with Humana and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. But no pancreas. You know we won't take no for an answer.
I understand that. It's pretty clear.
You know, we're not going to stop until you guys let him live. It's that simple. We're going to be all over you, man.
If we could, I think we've got some room here. Are we gonna...
And your name again is?
Greg Donaldson.
Greg?
Are we taking this elevator or are we not taking this elevator?
This is Greg Donaldson from Corporate Communications here at Humana. He'll be with us for the rest of our series here on The Awful Truth as we follow his efforts to get to the facts of this case.
Okay, so are we going to take an elevator this time?
We'll check back with you from week to week.
Absolutely.
Okay? To see how you're doing, checking the facts. And maybe Chris will still be alive by the end of our series, sharing the awful truth, okay?
Are we?
All right.
Great.
Great. Please come to the funeral. Please come to the funeral. Please come to the funeral.
As a courtesy to us, leave for the day now.
As a courtesy to you?
Please. So that we can. This is just continuing to be disruptive.
As a courtesy to me, why don't you pay for his pancreas? He's giving you the shirt off his back. All right? And of course, his catheter's hanging out now, so, you know, I don't know what to do about that. But, oh, Greg, look. It's Chris's hearse. It's the hearse he's going to use at his funeral. Look at that.
Are we finished, Mike? I want to look into the facts. We're committed to improving the health of our members. That's foremost in our... all right, if we are you headed out now? Is that the deal?
You know, I'd had enough of Humana's public relations BS for one day. If they weren't going to come to Chris's funeral, I guess I was just going to have to bring Chris's funeral to them.
Father, we're gathered here today with friends, family, and loved ones, Lord. We commit Chris to you this day, Father.
I didn't know Chris for very long. He was a great guy. He had a lot of integrity, a rich sense of humor. And in fact, I remember something that he often used to say.
What was he used to say?
Just want a pancreas.
He used to say, I just want a pancreas. That's it. He was a good man. Mr. Jones, you got an extra pancreas?
I sympathize with you, and...
Well, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking for a pancreas transplant.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
As a result of what Chris did, Humana has now changed their entire policy, and they will now cover all pancreas transplants.
We have the good fortune of having Chris with us here tonight. Chris, why don't you take a bow? And his daughter, Brittany, and his parents, Bill and Joan. We should take one of these guys on every single week. And that's what we're going to do on The Awful Truth. We'll see you next week at the same time. Thank you very much.